Hey guys, it's Joy. Welcome back to my channel. This week I have my week 45 bullet journal set up. Please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos. So I have to start off this video with a small apology. I'm sorry that this video is coming out so late. It's just that this week I was so caught up with work, so though I had filmed the setup beforehand, I just didn't have enough time to edit it and upload it up to YouTube, so it is coming out a little bit late. This is my first weekly spread with my November poppy theme, and I've opted for a Dutch door setup, which you'll see a bit later. The main illustrations are going to be these big poppies, just as with my cover page. And because I thought my cover page turned out so well and the colours seemed so rich and vibrant, I've also started here with a watercolour underpainting. With this watercolour painting, as well as trying to get a colour base, I'm also trying to capture the tonal values of the illustration, so where the shadows and the highlights would be. One of the main focuses that I have with my illustrations is to try and make them seem as lifelike as possible. And actually, when I look back on some of the doodles and drawings I did in my earlier bullet journals, I think that's one of the main differences in style that I can see. So when it comes to drawing and painting flowers and botanicals, one of the main ways that you can make them seem more lifelike is really thinking about the texture of that flower. So we've all seen flowers in real life, and we all know that the petals aren't flat. There's folds, there's grooves, there's so much texture in the flower that if you can capture that in your drawing, that can make the difference between a flat 2D cartoony drawing and something that looks a little bit more realistic. For example, if you look at this petal that I'm painting now, I wanted it to seem as if the petal was folded. So even in my initial sketch, I gave it a rounded and wavy edge. Then in the underpainting, I used Payne's Grey to put some shadow into that area, because you're not going to get much light into that fold, so the shadow helps make it look like it's curved. And that's the key basically. If you have everything the same shade, then it's going to look very flat and very 2D. But once you start playing with light and shadow and tonal values, that's going to add shape, it's going to add dimension, and it's going to add texture. And with all these things comes realism. And don't get me wrong, flat illustrations are great if that's what you're going for. And also, I'm in no way an expert. I've had no formal art training. I'm very much an amateur that's still learning and still developing her own skills. But I just thought I'd share with you some insights and some lessons that I've acquired in my own artistic journey. Anyway, going back to the setup. So I had done this Dutch door, and initially I had cut out like circles at the edge of the door, and that was where I was going to put the days of the week. But I knew I also wanted it to be quite an artistic Dutch door, so you can see me sketching out my second poppy that's going to line up with the first one, and the circles were just getting in the way of that, so I ended up just cutting them out, or rather cutting them off, and I just went for a straight edge instead. You may have noticed with this second poppy, I didn't do a watercolour underpainting, I just went straight in with my acrylic paint. I'll admit it, I got tired, I wanted to finish the spread and I didn't have the energy to do two paintings. And you'll also see I'm using a larger flat brush, and this just allowed me to move more paint over a larger surface area. And then I use a small round brush I think in a size 1 to do the details and to add in the shadow with my watercolour Payne's Grey. At the end of the day, I actually like this second poppy more than the first one, so I don't really think it matters what method you use as long as you're happy with the end result. As I said, I went for beauty over function with my Dutch door, so I was really only able to fit sort of 6 boxes in the spread. Instead of having a Saturday, Sunday, I just had 1 box for the weekend. And then on the side, I had my calendar and then my task list. Then, as I did with my calendar and tracker page, I added in the smaller poppies surrounding the larger one with these yellow, green and black circles all around. Again, I thought about using washi tape but decided not to include it, and this time I didn't waste any, so I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram to see more of my spreads and setups. I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you in the next one.
Something